What's up, guys? Welcome to G Whiskey. I'm Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below, and with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Bunnahabhain 18. Stick around. Okay, so it's a re-review today. I'm looking at the Bunnahabhain 18. I have looked at it before on the channel way back in the early days of G Whiskey, and this is one that I really liked back then. I gave it a 93, which is actually one of the highest scores I've ever given out on the channel, so that's a lot to live up to. So the question is, can it live up to that extremely high bar? One thing to note is that I have brought my scoring system down a little bit. I've always been a very generous scorer. I still am, but over the last couple of years, I've had to rein myself in a bit. In those days, I was a very excitable little fella, and I was giving out 90 plus points to any and every whiskey like a fat kid loves cake. Okay, yes, I realize what I just said made absolutely no sense. To be fair, I've never been good at analogies. Coming up with a good, clever analogy is as hard as... So, what do we need to know about Bunnahabhain 18? It's unpeated, it's matured in sherry casks, and that's about it. Actually, a lot of these distill brands, whether it's Tobermory or Deanston or Bunnahabhain, they're good in the sense that they always give us, or almost always give us, craft presented whiskeys, but they don't always give us a lot of production details. They'll give us some sometimes to their credit, but they're not as transparent as a brand like Bruichladdich or, Ardent American, which, to be fair, that's setting the bar very high, and at least these ones are always craft presented. Either way, what do we know about this stuff? It is entirely matured in sherry casks. That's it. Now, this one enjoys an extremely good reputation. Reviewers, enthusiasts, they all seem to love it. They always lean very positive. I definitely did last time. As I said, I scored it 93. So the question is, can it score that high again? No, it can't. Or maybe it can. Stay tuned and find out. Anyway, that's the intro out of the way. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into our review. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that would be greatly appreciated. So this stuff is craft. We get the usual distill ABV of 46.3%. It's non-chill filtered. It's natural color. For appearance, I like this bottle. It's a typical Bunnahabhain. We got the blue label here. It's a little bit modern. It's a little bit traditional. I think it strikes a nice balance. Doesn't dazzle or anything, but we'll give it 4 out of 5. Which is suspect because I gave it 5 out of 5 for presentation last time. And I feel like the inconsistency we get in scoring on G Whiskey calls into question the reliability of the entire channel. Also, the jokes are shit. I'm not a fan. Anyway, it does say non-chill filtered and natural color. We do get some tasting notes, so pretty much everything we need is there, and the bottle looks good. I can't complain. On the nose, this gives us rich, full, earthy sherry. Gives us lots of complexity. I get notes like damp earth and autumn leaves. There's also raisins and dates. There's caramel, there's butterscotch, there's hazelnut. There's some stewed fruits in here. There's some nice spices like cinnamon and anise. There's cherry liqueur. There's some wet wood, like damp wood type notes. There's faint vanilla. Really good. On the palate and finish, this is mouth coating. Again, it's earthy and it's oaky. I get damp earth, damp oak. There's some dried red fruits. There's some drying sweet tannins. There's more cherry liqueur. There's anise. There's cinnamon. There's apple vinegar. I also get some chili heat, some nuts, some butter, some orange oil. It's salty and savory, kind of an umami type note. There's also mocha in here. There's some not very sweet caramel. There's just lots of layers to this, lots of complexity. Again, very nice. So before we get into this bottle specifically, there's something I want to touch on, and that's batches. Now, the last bottle that I reviewed on the channel, even with my new adjusted scoring system that's been reined in a little bit, it was still a 90 plus point whiskey. It was spectacular. And since that bottle, since that review, I've bought 2 more Bunnahabhain 18s, this one being the most recent. And the conclusion that I've come to is that Bunnahabhain 18 is a lot of things, but a beacon of consistency it is not. Because the last bottle I had before this one was something that I would score like, I don't know, like 85 or something, which for a bottle that I've thoroughly enjoyed in the past, for something that I often say is one of the best 18-year-olds on the market, was disappointing. I was crestfallen. That bottle did not have the same level of complexity. A lot of the earthy and sherry notes fell completely flat in that one. So coming into this bottle, I just wasn't sure what to expect. Was I going to get another disappointment, or was it going to be another 90+ point whiskey? Conundrum. For reference, the bottle I've got here, I picked it up in 2023, but it's a batch from 2022. The bottle that I didn't like prior to this one was a 2021 release. And the one that I really enjoyed, I'm guessing either 2020 or 2021. I don't know. Anyway, the big question is, where does this one land? And good news, this is a good one. It's not flat or dull like the last one I had. It's not the best Bunna 18 I've ever had, but it's nice. As Bunnahabhain 18 should, this one gives us beautiful complexity and balance. It's rich, it's earthy, it's a little bit dirty. We have some really nice sherry in here that does not go too sweet. We have stuff like mocha notes and apple vinegar that kind of rein in the sweetness, and it's not even that sweet to begin with. If you're anything like me and you're sensitive to whiskeys that go too sweet, especially whiskeys that are like sherried or wine cask matured, this one is going to work for you. This one has that beautiful earthy character that never gets cloying. And the caramel note in here is really cool because it's the caramel flavor, but less sweet. It's like a caramel note with the sweetness cut in half, which is nice. Beyond that, we have the savory side of this. And this one, even though Bunnahabhain is on Islay and it's a coastal distillery, the notes here go less salty coastal and go more like umami, savory umami type notes, which is also very fun. Admittedly, I don't like this one quite as much as the last bottle I reviewed on the channel. That one was exceptional, but this one is also exceptional. Maybe not quite on that level, but it's almost there. This is a great one. So we're back on track here for score. I'm going to give this one a 91. It's a truly great whiskey. It's rich, it's full, it's balanced, it's layered, it's complex, and it's brimming with character. So yes, we do need to take note of the fact that this is an inconsistent whiskey. In fact, it's a wildly inconsistent whiskey. For two bottles that are no more than a year apart to have a score difference of 85 and 91. I mean, that's a difference of like, it's a lot. It's too much. However, the takeaway is that when it is good, it's an exceptional whiskey, and I've had plenty of bottles of Bunna 18 over the years, and I'm happy to report that the ones that fall under 90 points are the outliers. For the most part, it is a reliable whiskey, and the bottle that you get is probably, but not definitely, going to be exceptional. So I know that this one is pretty expensive in most markets, and that's a shame. That's sad. The good news is that if there is a bottle of 18-year-old out there that tastes premium and tastes expensive, it is this one. Still, we don't want to pay too much. Like, I'm lucky. I live in Taiwan, and I pay much better prices for a lot of things than most people in most markets do, so I'm counting my blessings there. What I paid for this is going to blow some of you away. I paid under 120 US, which is wild. Like, sometimes I'll go on international websites, like American websites, UK websites, and check the prices there. And there was one site in the US, it's a big national chain, and it had Bunnahabhain 18 for like $380. Now, this is a damn good whiskey, but please do not pay that for it. Like, some of these American retailers need to calm the f down. But listen, if you can get this for, I don't know, max 200, I would still say it's worth it, provided you're paying 200 for one of the better batches. Ideally, of course, you're paying less than that, but yeah, definitely don't go over 200, and pray that you're getting one of the better bottles. What can I say? It's, you know, there's no guarantees. When it's good, it's really good. Best of luck. Alright, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help out the channel, I do have the Patreon. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe. And of course, I want to hear from you. Have you tried Bunnahabhain 18? Have you noticed any batchiness? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know all that down below. Finally, down below, you can also let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.